So most of the growth that we're seeing is actually within smartphones and particularly within rich media advertising and applications. However, m.rte is a significant site, has a lot of traffic, and a lot of campaigns target users of those particular sites. So, if you look beyond the smartphones, iPhone in our market is still only 15% of the market.
Right.
There's a pretty big group of BlackBerry users, Nokia users, etc. And most of the mobile operators that we work with, they still have browser-based portal sites that we sell advertising in. It's significant within the Irish market.
Right.
This time last year, we launched the iPhone application. It's already up to 22 million pages.
Okay.
So, by the way, an interesting insight, it took 7 years to build a website to that level of traffic. It's taken 12 months to build the iPhone application.
Wow.
We've since launched the Android application, and today we launched the iPad application for RTE. So very significant business building up, very significant digital assets, and revenue there is becoming a significant part of RTE's overall digital business.
And what NFC is, it's really it's a secure ID which enables this physical device to communicate with a reader in retail or from a smart poster or at a ticketing point in a train station or anything like that. With a real NFC phone, your cards would be in a wallet which would be PIN protected.
Right.
So you can't just tap a reader and do a transaction. So it's like anything. If somebody knows your PIN and they take your, it's just like leaving your purse around. So there are risks, but I don't believe they're any greater than what they are today with the physical credit card.
Well, if we sat here last year, 80% of our revenue would have come from digital download type companies. So, the likes of EA Games and guys who were selling ringtones and games and wallpapers and so on. This year, 80% of our business is actually coming from ad agencies, from major brands. Most of the ad agencies have built the expertise themselves in-house, and they're very, very aware and very conscious of what's happening in mobile. They're building applications for their clients and so on. It's just taken a little bit of time. We're in the middle as well within our local market of a recession, so very hard to kind of skill up and keep ahead of things. So we've been working with agencies, doing a lot of work in the background, but what we're actually seeing now is the agencies themselves are highly competent in the area, very interested and very focused on bringing new ideas into their clients.
At Zapa, our back office platform is actually a billing platform, so it's a banking platform. So we look at a coupon redemption just like a payment transaction. So because we're fully integrated in the point of sale in a store, when somebody walks in with an NFC device or an NFC sticker or whatever way they choose to do it, as soon as they tap the reader, the person behind the counter will know without any training. So they'll know straight away this is a coupon for a free coffee or a discount or whatever it may be. It's automatically redeemed through the POS, and the receipt that comes out will be properly discounted with that on it. Then what happens at the back end is at the end of the day or at the end of the campaign, we build up a file which would go to the merchant and the sponsor or the advertiser or whoever is the issuer of that coupon, and then whatever money needs to change hands, like we can do a direct debit from A to B or whatever way they want to do that. It's a big part of our business. For example, if you could imagine a situation where as a coupon issuer or say a mobile operator who's involved in media marketing, if I could target a store and say at any one time, so to set up a campaign, say at midday on Thursday, to send a coupon to everybody within 500 metres of this store and actually track real-time the redemption of that coupon. So that's the type of activity that we can get involved in now accurately with proper location-based services.
I spent a couple of years in a carrier,
Okay.
And there is this great idea that carriers have lots of data just sitting there waiting to be matched with advertising. Not the case, actually,
Okay.
in many, that's a major project to actually make something of that data. It's one thing having it, it's the other one, another thing using it. As a subscriber to a mobile operator, do I really want ads delivered to my phone from my mobile operator, or do I want to opt in to ads from brands that I'm interested in speaking to? I think I prefer the latter. I think carriers will play a role. I don't think they'll dominate. I think they will, just as they are on the web, be a significant player or publisher or carrier or distributor of ads alongside major broadcasters, publishers, etc. But I don't think they'll dominate by any means.
I think around payments, mobile payments, I mean, there's two very separate worlds, and one is the digital goods and the other is physical goods.
Yeah.
And in the digital world, mobile operators can get away with very high margins. But when you move into the real world, you're competing with 1%. You know, it's in that range. So typically, you know, with around premium SMS billing, and, you know, it's all up 20, 30%, App Store. It doesn't work in the real world.
That we can buy things in the App Store is probably the best, you know, the testament to that. Ultimately, what I can buy is going to be limited. It needs to be something that I can actually download and be transferred directly to my phone. So I buy content, I pay for things today. I pay for live streaming, I pay for audio or music or whatever, and you know, I'm happy to do that. How far will I take in-app purchases? I'm not quite sure. Will I pay for a flight, you know, through in-app purchase? I'm not quite sure. I think ultimately there's a long way to go. It's interesting to see hybrid models that we're seeing certainly with content purchases. So a certain layer is provided for free and it's ad funded, and a premium layer underneath is provided on a subscription basis. You know, particularly through iTunes or through the App Store. Those kind of hybrid models, some publishers are having great success with that. For 15 years we've had the web, and the web has largely been free, you know, for most consumers. And we're happy enough to see ads there because we know actually that pays the bills, right? And that allows content to be free. So we're used to that. So, you know, when we look to mobile actually traditionally we've always had to pay for things. So all of a sudden we've got a certain amount of applications or content that's ad funded. So as long as that advertising isn't intrusive and isn't overly so, I think people they get it. They understand that this is valuable content. You got to pay journalists. You got to pay for, you know, the production of that. And if it carries advertising, fine, as long as it's free, right? The business model of charging $1 for an app doesn't pay journalists, doesn't pay for quality news services. So, you know, I think the ad-funded model will always be there.
Well, for me with NFC, I mean, what I'd like to hear at this show is a lot more announcements on new handsets. I know Samsung have 3 announced, but to get more of that happening. I mean, I think everybody always refers back to what happened in 99, 2000 when WAP phones came out at first, and there was just no applications there. And I think NFC is sort of at a point now where at least the applications are there. If the phones came out, that they would drive. So for me, that's the big thing that I'd wait for.